Strong sisters,
Gorgeous brothers.
beautiful others,
Oh.
red circles of fire.
Have you watched all of the available free episodes of the Black queer epic, Red Circles of Fire? No? Then be warned of the spoilers of this analysis, and go back and like, subscribe, and hit the bell to notify. If yes, proceed ahead and find out how this is far more than just a cute story with pictures. It is a story that explains the obsession and contradictions of General Uhsa-Lata. General Uhsa-Lata is one of those rare characters who blur the line between villain and tragic figure. In the Black queer epic Red Circles of Fire, he first appears in the Fire Realms of Rakana as the model of loyalty, a decorated commander, a national hero, the man who commands the monarch's legions with flawless discipline. Yet as the story unfolds, that discipline conceals something darker: jealousy, shame, and a longing twisted by power. Uhsa-Lata's devotion to order masks an inner chaos. He is a man who serves justice by committing injustice, who seeks purity but is challenged by the contradictions within himself. To understand him, we must look at the world that forged him. Rakana is built on hierarchy: noble over slave, man over woman, dominance over freedom. Uhsa-Lata is the child of that creed. As the seventh son of a minor lord, he grows up bullied and overlooked, learning early that respect must be taken. It's never given. The army offers him salvation, a place where strength and obedience replace tenderness. Discipline becomes his religion. That faith wins him glory. He becomes hero of the realm, adored by his soldiers, especially his Aduma troops, the semi-free men who fight for a land that until recently enslaved most Aduma people. They revere him not because he is gentle, but because he treats them as soldiers, not as slaves. Even a skeptic like Bada, an Aduma freeman who mistrusts and resents every Rakani noble, speaks of the general with a kind of wary respect. In battle, Uhsa-Lata never sends others where he won't go himself. To the Aduma, that courage makes him an almost mythic figure. The noble who, for once, bleeds beside them, but the same fire that inspires also consumes. Uhsa-Lata's loyalty to the realm curdles into hatred for its rulers, particularly the royal house of Oto-Kaanza. They are a dynasty of cruel, hypocritical scoundrels in his eyes because they enslaved the Aduma for 700 years. Now their recent weak rulers feign a so-called love for the Aduma. These recent rulers include Oto-Mani the Weak, or the 32nd, and Oto-Mani the so-called Emancipator, or the 33rd. They are presumed by some to be divine from birth. They inherit power with a smile. Uhsa-Lata has had to fight to earn every scrap of respect he possesses, and his victories on the battlefield means he deserves far more than to have to bow and salute to weak men who happen to sit on the fire throne of Rakana due to accidents of birth. His resentment festers in silence until he meets Diodi, the monarch's steward and secret lover, who is half Aduma, beautiful, magnetic, and beloved. Diodi embodies the very contradiction that torments him: strength without cruelty, power without fear. Fascination becomes obsession, and obsession slides into violence. The night he sexually assaults Diodi is not only an act of lust but of annihilation. He wants to destroy the part of himself that trembles in the presence of beauty and kindness. When Diodi resists and wounds him, the humiliation brands his soul deeper than any scar. From that moment, Uhsa-Lata vows to erase the weakness that love exposed. Outwardly, he resumes his post. Inwardly, he declares war on tenderness itself. He buries his shame beneath service, or in the behinds of enslaved palace men. As Oto-Mani the 33rd ascends the throne, Uhsa-Lata outwardly salutes with the devotion of a loyal soldier, yet in his heart he despises this new king's compassion. The emancipation of the Aduma, the promise of freedom, strikes him as hypocrisy if not heresy. To him, the world must be ordered, not kind. A kingdom ruled by mercy is a kingdom ruled by chaos. And so, when rebellion stirs and famine grips the land, he shows his strength and the ability of he and his troops to quell unrest as evidence of the monarch's weakness. Secretly, Uhsa-Lata is in competition with Oto-Mani the 33rd. By freeing the Aduma, Oto-Mani hopes for their love and adoration as their so-called emancipator. By commanding the Aduma, Uhsa-Lata demands their loyalty and obedience like a warden. What makes Uhsa-Lata so frightening is that he believes he's righteous. He doesn't scheme for personal gain like the conniving First Minister, Lord Kotore. In actuality, Uhsa-Lata has very little respect for men like him. Uhsa-Lata truly believes he's defending the realm from moral decay. He sees himself as Rakana's purifier, cutting away rot to save the body of the nation. But in doing so, he amputates its heart. And yet, he's not a monster without reflection. There are moments when the mask slips, when he's alone, staring into nothing. When his name is praised by the very Aduma soldiers he secretly thinks are inferior. When the memory of Diodi flickers like a forbidden passion. For a heartbeat, he seems to understand that all his righteousness has left him empty, that the discipline that made him strong has also made him incapable of love. General Uhsa-Lata is a villain, but a profoundly human one. He is not chaos unleashed but order gone too far, the embodiment of a world that mistakes domination for virtue. The irony is cruel. He's admired by those he resents or is destined to betray, and he is corroded by the forbidden feelings he cannot admit. In him, Rakana confronts its own hypocrisy, a civilization that worships strength yet is terrified of gentleness. By the end, he stands as both legend and warning. To the soldiers who once cheered his name, he is the hero who led them through fire. To history, he is the man who burned in it. His tragedy is that he could command legions, inspire loyalty, even earn the love of men like Bata, but never command peace within himself. He's not just a villain of the story. He's the shadow of every empire that confuses discipline with justice and power with truth. Again, like, subscribe, and notify in order to not miss one free minute of Red Circles of Fire.